Hey y'all, and welcome back. Today we will be reviewing another slapped ham video titled "These Strange and Unsettling Videos Will Creep You Out." So, y'all ready to get creeped out yet? If y'all, come on, let's go.
A video posted by YouTube creator The Hidden Underbelly 2.0 is stirring debate online after revealing what may be one of the eeriest real estate listings ever shared.
These 4 photographs appeared in this property listing for this property in New Jersey. Now, in these pictures, we can see a manifestation beginning and end.
According to the uploader, a series of 4 photos taken for a New Jersey property listing appear to document the formation of a full-bodied apparition, caught unintentionally by a realtor's camera.
But on the 4th picture in the series, or the last one in the series, whatever you want to call it, we can see this full-bodied apparition.
The images, intended to showcase a home's interior, seem to capture something no one expected: a white mist forming near a bar stool, followed by the appearance of a clearly defined white figure sitting at the same spot.
They would be taking pictures with nobody in it. So there is no explanation for why this all-white figure is in the last picture sitting at the bar.
The progression across the 4 images is what makes this sighting so intriguing. In the first 3 shots, a faint white mist is seen forming around the bar stool, but in the 4th and final photo, the mist has seemingly taken shape, revealing what looks like a person-sized white apparition seated at the bar.
So guys, let's have a look at all this forming, and what do you think? Am I reaching here, or have we got evidence of a full body apparition?
This is actually from the realtor's photos, the poster notes, so they would be taking pictures with nobody in them. He goes on to emphasize that these images were intended for public property listings where staging is typically clean and deliberate, raising questions about how this mysterious figure could have appeared in one frame and not the others.
This again is coming from the realtor's photos. So these photos are going online to try and sell the house. So you wouldn't want to put a person in the photo, would you?
Some skeptics have suggested the figure could be a Halloween decoration left behind, but the poster counters that theory. If it wasn't for the first 3 pictures where you don't see this figure, just this kind of mist forming, I'd say maybe, but that mist rules out a decoration. Others have floated the possibility of a person unknowingly walking into the shot. However, given the progression of the mist and the fact that it only fully appears to materialize in the final image, this seems unlikely. Whether this is a true capture of paranormal activity, a camera glitch, or an optical illusion, one thing is certain: the images have sparked serious curiosity online, with many expressing genuine unease over the final photo. So what do you think? Are we seeing a spirit caught mid-manifestation, or is there another way to explain the ghostly figure? Take a look at the photos one more time and let me know your theories in the comment section below.
Well, this one seems to start off at an interesting Zillow page, look like, about it. So the pictures are kind of strange, especially the first 3. It looks like a start of something trying to manifest. You know, you see the wispy motions and the kind of like just mist-like quality to parts of it. But this last image just is very different from the first 3, not the last 3, but the first 3. This, to me, it almost, like a lot of them were saying, like a little bit of a Halloween decoration or something. But then how come it wasn't in the first 3? Unless something with the lighting went on. Because as you can see in the 4th picture, y'all go back now if you want to take another look. I'm fine with that. Whatever you got to do to see my point right here with this. The last picture, it obviously looks like a small, very petite female, kind of almost gripping the bar stool seat. Y'all see the hands just sitting there, but it's too small, and it's just very strange looking, especially for one, it ain't got no legs. So And it's kind of like got a bridal gown going on. It's very strange, but to me personally, it does look like it's a bit of like maybe a Halloween decoration or something. I mean, I don't know what time of year this could be, very near Halloween, or like me, they could have Halloween decorations up whenever they want. So that's totally up to them. I know a lot of people who keep Christmas lights on the house, so they can't say nothing about somebody keeping Halloween decorations up. Besides the point, what I'm thinking with the first three is there's a possibility of this person's trying to sell the house, and it's just like they want to take good pictures, but they want to take a lot of pictures in a short amount of time. So there could have been a possibility with the light angle of it, and maybe they were moving while they took the picture. Y'all ever notice when you accidentally get bumped into or something, and while you're taking a picture, everything looks blurred and distorted? It's how the light is coming in through the lens, so it created a blur motion while your hand was moving, because everything kind of slowed down a bit while I was taking it. And that's what it looks somewhat like when you look at the first three pictures. Maybe they were just trying to shoot off those pictures really quick. And then the last piece, they wanted to take a little bit more time with, because this is probably, if there's, I'm thinking how some people would think, this right here is like the main attraction for this particular place that's being sold on this website. So, a nice bar with the bar stools, there's everything. That right there, that makes it look more appealing, more attractive. So you want to take more time on that. Doing a little bit of photography. I've done little bits here and there. You take quick pictures of things that, is basic standard. Like, oh, I'm going to take a bunch of pictures of this mountain here. I'm going to do them real quick and everything like that. And you kind of hope for the best. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it's easier that way. You take pictures kind of quick when it's something that's large enough focus, and you just want to take a quick picture, like, oh yeah, I remember I was over there at that one point, now I'm over here. You think like that. But when there's something that's kind of like a real special or like spectacular view, you want to take your time taking that picture. You sit there like, okay, perfect example here. I've been to a few of the national parks and on the East Coast side. Like I said, I've only traveled all through the East Coast and probably about as far as Illinois going westward. So to me, going to national parks, you can take a tree picture, dime a dozen, just like I said, those mountain pictures. But when you really find something spectacular and just breathtaking to you, you want to take your time on the picture. It's something that has meaning. It's something that is going to be just standing out to anybody you show the picture to. I think one of the best pictures I've taken, and is just really nice and breathtaking, would probably be in Watkins Glen in upstate New York. Now, that was a really nice one. But that's like this bar stool here. This is probably one of the deciding factors people would want to see with this whole area. So I feel like, all in all, I went on a long journey just to tell y'all, I feel like they were moving around too much with the other pictures. And then finally, when they focused on the main centerpiece of the selling point, they took a nice long picture, and that's just a Halloween decoration. Again, I apologize for that long little rant, but I was trying to get a good point across on it. But the basic of what I was trying to say is, you look at the first three pictures, they're fuzzy. The fourth picture, clear as a bell. So, like I said, your main focus is going to be what you're going to take the most time on. And the main focus, I believe in that, was the bar area. So they were able to catch the Halloween decoration easier that way. All right. Sorry about the rant. I'm sorry about the clarifications. Let's get on to the next one, shall we?
A curious video uploaded to the Rabbit Hole Facebook page has left viewers scratching their heads after capturing a strange event in the night sky. In the clip, a man can be seen standing outside, pointing a laser pointer directly at a bright, solitary light overhead. But it's what happens next that has the internet buzzing. After several seconds of holding the beam steady, additional lights begin to appear in the sky. One by one, they emerge, some faint, others pulsing, in what looks eerily like a response to the laser's targeting. Comments on the video range from intrigued to skeptical. Some users believe the lights could be part of a cloaked formation, only visible under certain lighting conditions or angles. Others think it's a UFO encounter caught in real time, pointing out how unusual it is for static lights to react to a ground-based laser. Skeptics, meanwhile, suggest it could be lens flare, satellites, or even insects reflecting the laser beam. However, many agree that the number of lights and their coordinated appearance make this more than a typical night sky illusion. Whether a natural phenomenon, human technology, or something unknown, the video has definitely struck a chord with those fascinated by the unexplained.
So before I wanted to react to this particular clip right here, I decided I'd look it up just to see, because I wasn't 100%, and seeing this person point a laser pointer up in the sky was a little unnerving to me. So green is supposedly okay because it doesn't scatter the light as much as like the red one does, which would disrupt planes and things like that. But yeah, no, so even astronomers use those green light laser pointers to point out stars and celestial bodies and everything in the sky. So first off, before I decided to go on a rant about that, I checked. So he's okay with his green light. But honestly, I don't know what on earth this could be. I mean, unless it could be something with maybe cloud cover or something, but the way they're sparkling up there, it looks a little strange to me. He might have caught on to something, but honestly, you never know. I don't know the location he's at and everything like that, but it could be also maybe the flare from his camera or whatever he's using is maybe causing some of these to blink, and maybe the cloud cover, because it does look like at some points that you can see clouds moving in the sky. So I'm thinking it might be just a mixture of him with his camera focusing and moving around a little bit, and it's catching that glint a little bit more, so it looks like they're kind of twinkling up there, like, you know, flashing more than actual twinkle like a star. But and then the movement might be caused by cloud cover and everything, but I'm not too sure. This is a really interesting video, and I'd really like to know their location of where they're at and a little bit more about everything that's going on, because maybe other people had seen it with their naked eye and didn't get a camera up on it. You know, just ask around with the locals. Maybe he was the only one who saw it. You never know. So let's move on to the next one, shall we?
A chilling video uploaded to TikTok by user horrorjpn.show is making waves online after a creepy encounter was caught on a home security camera. The footage begins innocently enough. A dog is seen calmly eating and then playing with a ball in what appears to be a quiet home interior. But just moments later, its behaviour shifts. The dog freezes, stares into the distance, and begins growling at something unseen. Its agitation escalates quickly until the dog suddenly lunges toward the camera, knocking it over in a flurry of movement. But it's what the camera catches as it falls that has TikTok viewers spooked. As the angle skews and the camera tumbles to the floor, the lens briefly captures a creepy figure standing in the doorway. The figure appears to have a humanoid shape, but is unnervingly still, as if watching. It seems to be wearing a mask or has a pale, featureless face, with the only visible details being a pair of dark, sunken eyes. The moment is quick, but undeniably unsettling. The video has since gone viral, racking up thousands of comments and shares as viewers debate what exactly was caught on film. Some believe the dog may have sensed the presence and reacted instinctively. "This gave me chills," one viewer commented. "The way the dog reacts before we even see anything. It knows something's there." Others noted the figure's lack of defining features, calling it like something out of a Japanese horror film. Whether it's an elaborate hoax, a prank gone viral, or something far more sinister, the video has certainly struck a nerve with viewers attempting to identify the mysterious figure.
Now, this one is a bit on the creepy and disturbing side for me, personally, just simply because the dog's reactions, you can't really fake, honestly. I mean, have you all ever known a dog to really act on the spot? I mean, sure, voice commands and things like that, but the way this dog was acting and backing up a little bit and everything, unless he's a trained acting dog, then I would say his responses were very real, very tangible. You can tell that he was getting aggressive, that there was something there. As for the ending image, however, I don't exactly think that Clayface was coming to get him. I mean, I know he didn't say Clayface, but any of y'all remember Batman, the animated series? Y'all will remember Clayface. And if you even watched the newer, I think it was HBO Max show, Harley Quinn, one of her side minions, so to say, is Clayface. So, and that picture kind of reminded me of his face, sunken in, kind of looked like it was melting and everything. But I think that was maybe the vibration of the camera falling that caused that last little bit. It could have caused a malfunction in the camera, and that was the last still frame that it did for its duration that it was on. And I think that was just a blur image for the face and everything. But my main concern is, has anybody heard anything from these people afterwards or anything like that? Because I would like to know to make sure they were okay, because that could have possibly been a home invasion. I don't think that looked a little too real for me for it to be paranormal. So I would hope for paranormal, but by all means, I would really hope for that. Not what I'm honestly thinking that looked like a real person. So, not really good to think about now. Okay, so let's move on to the next one before we get a little too dark in here.
A mysterious photo shared to Reddit by user WXinderLXN has stirred speculation after appearing to show a strange, shadowy figure cast on a wall. One that, according to the poster, had no identifiable source and vanished without explanation. What's particularly unusual, according to the user, is that the lighting in the room didn't change at all before, during, or after the sighting. A second photo, taken just 10 minutes later, shows the same hallway in identical lighting conditions, but with the shadow completely gone. Adding to the mystery, the user says their mother also witnessed a massive light shortly after the shadow vanished. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to capture that second anomaly on camera. With no pets or people nearby to account for the shape, Reddit commenters have been left to speculate. Some suggested it could be a paranormal presence, possibly a spirit manifesting, or a form of shadow entity. Others asked whether any reflective surfaces, furniture, or outside lighting could have been responsible, but the poster insisted there was nothing at all to explain it. While skeptics continue to seek a rational answer, the photo and the story behind it has undeniably caught the interest of the paranormal community. So what do you think? Was this simply a trick of the light, or a brief glimpse into something otherworldly? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below.
Any of y'all ever seen the Barnes & Noble edition of Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Books? You know, it was like a olive green, light green color, like kind of almost towards lime, if I'm getting my colors right here with it. But it's not the cover that I'm wanting to talk about, but the little inlays of another color coming through, and it's little like silhouettes of like a long-tailed monkey. So, you know, I was sitting there, that was the first thing that came to my mind, because I'm actually reading that book. So I see that cover every day, and it's just that image of that shadow figure, as they were calling it, just reminded me so much of the the cover of the Jungle Books. So I just had to get that out first. But honestly, this could be a bit of a pareidolia situation going on. You could have multiple items stacked on each other, and they say the lighting didn't change, but the thing of it is, cloud cover could change. The lighting on the interior, yeah, it could, you keep the light on, but even if you got your curtains drawn, there's a way that light still seeps through from outside, and some of that could change too. So I'm thinking it's a case of pareidolia with it, but it does look like a little long-tailed monkey just standing on his little back paws. All right, let's move on to the next one.
A chilling video posted to Reddit by user LowFlyingV has sparked debate after allegedly capturing what appear to be shadow people moving through a historic home. According to the poster, the footage was recorded by the son of a friend who lives in the house, an old property that once served as the regional doctor's office dating back to before the Civil War. The post consists of 3 clips taken during what the family described as a night of intense paranormal activity. In each clip, shadowy forms can be seen moving through the living room and ascending the stairwell, seemingly without any obvious physical source. The family, familiar with the home's long and storied history, believes the strange figures could be linked to the building's past. From what I've been told, there's a lot of paranormal activity, the poster wrote. Given that the property once served as a medical facility, potentially treating countless patients and witnessing both suffering and death, some viewers speculate that residual or intelligent hauntings could be at play. However, not everyone is convinced. Several skeptical Redditors suggested that the shadows may simply belong to people moving through dimly lit rooms, especially if the lighting and camera angles were misleading. Others called for a floor plan or layout of the house, pointing out that without knowing the architecture, it's impossible to determine whether the movements are truly unexplainable. Despite the skepticism, many viewers admitted the video gave them chills. The lack of clear source, the timing of the movements, and the context of the home's history all contribute to the eerie tone of the footage.
Now, with this one, I recall Callan saying that the footage was taken by the son of the friend of a person who lives there. So right now, I'm hearing 3 different people already included in this house. The son, the son's father, and then the father's friend who owns the house. That's 3 people right there. So, my thoughts on this, sorry, my thoughts on this is how many other people were in there? It seems to be if you've already got 3 people there, there could be possibility more people. This could be a social gathering situation or anything like that. And the angle in which these videos were taken, it just reminds me, it just gives me a whole bunch of ideas on how you can angle a certain way and be able to only see the shadows. I mean, perfect angle with the stairs and everything, because you were catching only between one floor to the next, so you're not catching that other floor. So whatever the lighting could have been up there could have caused whoever was walking that path to cast a shadow. And I know some of y'all probably even noticed, like when you're in a house and everything, and you seem to have a bit like more than one shadow. I think it's mainly because it's a little bit closer to you, so it looks a little bit more distorted, and so it looks like multiple shadows. So it could have looked, one person could have passed by to go to the bathroom or something upstairs, and it could have looked like 3 people had done walked by, because that's the way the shadow was distorted by the light and everything. As for the other ones, the way he was angled, he was kind of more catty-cornered in that room, and so you could get partial of the door jamb and the hallway. So you could have somebody, according to any sort of lighting that's in those other rooms and everything, if it's off to the side, anybody who walked in front of that light would have created a shadow and cast it on that wall over there. So most of this, I just like to know how many people were there. That's the main thing. Even if it's just the 3, if these were taken at different times and things like that. Houses ain't too big. I mean, there's some of them that are huge, but I mean, if there's only a couple of people in the house, they only gonna stay in certain areas in the house. They ain't gonna go into the furthest most north, east, west wing, whatever you have. They're gonna stay more of a centralized location. So honestly, this one right here is just a nice little play of light and shadow causing this type of situation. Like I say, it looked like multiple people. It's just with the distortion of how close you are to a wall or something. When you get closer to the wall, y'all try this at home now. Get closer to the wall and it's little light, you'll see that your shadow becomes clear, but when you go further away from it, you see it gets distorted and it looks more like multiple people, so, or multiple hands in this case that I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, it's the light and the shadow and somebody just walking by. Alright, let's move on to the next.
France's beloved Fête de la Musique took a disturbing turn this year as at least 145 people, many of them teen girls, reported being pricked by syringes during the June 21st celebrations. The attacks occurred in multiple cities across the country, including Paris, Metz, Rouen and Tours, triggering panic and swift police action. Authorities have arrested 12 suspects in connection with the incidents, and investigations are now focused on social media posts that appeared to encourage attacks, particularly targeting young women. Snapchat and TikTok accounts reportedly circulated warnings days ahead of the festival, leading some to believe the assaults may have been planned online. Victims described feeling sudden stings in crowded areas and later reported symptoms like dizziness and nausea. Many underwent toxicology screenings, though no drugs have yet been confirmed in their systems. Experts caution that injecting substances into victims in such conditions is extremely difficult, and in many past cases across Europe, syringes were found to be empty or contained no trace of drugs. Despite this, the psychological impact of these so-called needle-spiking events is real. Public officials called the attacks extremely serious, with France's Interior Ministry boosting police presence and emergency resources in response. This trend echoes a growing concern seen in recent years at clubs and festivals in the UK and Europe. While motives remain unclear, ranging from attempted drugging to fear-based assaults, the result is the same: fear, trauma, and a renewed call for tighter safety measures at mass public gatherings. The French government continues to investigate and urges anyone who suspects they were targeted to seek immediate medical help. In the meantime, the mystery and menace of syringe spiking continues to cast a long shadow over the country's summer festivities.
This is the last clip of the day or story of the day. This is pretty much more of a story type thing. And honestly, this is probably the most unsettling thing in this whole video. I mean, you just going minding your own business, going to a concert, going to a festival, and all of a sudden you feel like you get a little pinprick stab and then you find out that somebody's done stuck you with a syringe. I mean, this is insane. This is highly, highly unsettling. And the fact that many of these people who did get targeted were young girls, meaning like teenagers, maybe 14, 15, 16, 17. They didn't say, but I'm safe to assume when they said that, because they said many of them young girls. So I'm just spitballing here over the age range of it, and that's just very, very unsettling that people would do such a thing in an area that's it's very crowded. Yes, you got people screaming, fans and everything everywhere, but to do something like that in an area there, it's just horrifying to me. I mean, considering I go to concerts and music festivals myself, it just unnerves me that people would actually have the audacity to do this sort of thing in front of thousands of people and get away with it, or think they could get away with it. I mean, it's just unnerving. Now, this one does definitely creep me out more than anything on this episode. Now, what do y'all think? Yeah, pretty unsettling, right? This is probably the worst one. And the sad thing is that at the end of the day, we all got to realize the paranormal isn't as scary as real life. So that's all I'm saying about that. Now, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode, and like and subscribe if y'all do. Like I say, I've said it a couple of times, I'll say it again. Y'all want me to cover anything else? I mean, I have been looking at other different YouTubers that we could maybe react to, some other type of paranormal situations or maybe wildlife situation type things we can look at too. Let me know. Hit me up in the comments and let me know what y'all want to hear. Now, y'all take care. Until next time.